Hey Kalthoff, and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today we are going to create a card with the Greetings from Santa Thinlits and stamp set. This is a bundle you can find in the 2016 Holiday Stampin' Up! Catalog, and this is the card we're going to make. And we use a paper called Shimmery White from Stampin' Up! It's wonderful for watercoloring or blender pens, but it also has a little bit of shimmer to it, so it makes it absolutely beautiful on Christmas cards, especially paired with rich regal colors like Night of Navy or Cherry Cobbler. So on this card we're using Cherry Cobbler, and then the inside has a lot of sentiments that are just as much fun to stamp as they are to read. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the bundle that I was mentioning before, and I just have a little cutout here because I already have it set up on my Big Shot machine, and I'm going to show you how I ran that through. And then of course this is the stamp set. So the Thinlits are coordinated to go with the stamp set. So let's go ahead and get started with the cardstock that we're using. This is Cherry Cobbler. I've cut it at 5.5 by 8.5, and then I've scored it at 4 1/4. And we're just going to take a bone folder, give this a nice press here along the back, and then we're just going to set this aside for a minute. The next thing that we have is a piece of Shimmery White cardstock. This is 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to do the inside panel of my card, and we're going to do a little bit of stamping on here. So I have my Cherry Cobbler ink pad ready to go, and I'm just stamping the scroll, and that's the first thing that's going to be stamped on this panel. And then the next thing I'm going to stamp is the Naughty or Nice sentiment. That goes right by that scroll, so I wonder where your name is. Is it under the naughty side or the nice side? We'll have to see come Christmas time, correct? So then I'm stamping up the Happy Christmas to All and To All a Good Night, and we're going to put that down here at the very bottom of this panel. And then there's plenty of room in the middle for you to write your name. So this is kind of a fun card, and this is the inside panel of this card. So we'll go ahead and put this in right now, and I'm just going to use a little bit of snail along the back. Set this in right here. Give it a little bit of a press, and the inside panel is done. So here is the sandwich that I used to create this card, and I used a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Shimmery White paper. Now the way I did it is I layered up my magnetic plate, which is below here, with my precision plate, and then I have my Shimmery White paper, a little bit of wax paper. I found that my dies worked a little bit better with this particular die if I used wax paper, and then of course my Santa Thinlit, and then I have a dedicated warped plate that I keep just for my precision plate. Then I ran this whole thing through the Big Shot machine, so I ran it through once and then backed it through, so it's kind of like going through twice. And now I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to use my die brush to get all these pieces out. So I found with my die brush, and I don't know where I saw this, some random YouTube video, but I found out that I can keep my die brush in an inside out paper pumpkin box, and it fits perfectly. So I have my foam pad here, and here's my die brush, and I'm just going to set the little Santa Thinlit on here and then just run my die brush all over it. And then we'll see how this works. It should work pretty good. At least it did in my experiments before the camera was rolling. So you can see how easily that come off. And then here's the wax paper. And then I can just pick this up, and we'll see if there's anything left to take out. Not very much. So you can see all of these little pieces are out. Just a little tiny one to poke out of the hat, and then a couple down here. And those are easy. They actually are popping out with my thumbnail, although I could use a paper piercing tool, which I actually might have to do with this one right here. We'll squeeze that one out, and our die is ready to go. So let me put this away, and we'll bring the card back into the picture again. And we're going to be setting this right here. But before we do, we have a little stamping to do, and we're going to do a ribbon wrap. So now, again, using Cherry Cobbler ink, I'm going to ink up Greetings from the North Pole, We're going to stamp this right down here in the lower right corner. And then I have a couple of pieces of the Cherry Cobbler taffeta ribbon. This is our silky taffeta duo ribbon that you can find in the 2016 holiday catalog. I'm just going to do a little wrap around here and secure it down with some Scotch tape. And I will tell you, this duo ribbon comes in Cherry Cobbler and then also in our Emerald Envy. And it is absolutely fabulous to work with. It is so silky and it ties the nicest bows and the nicest knots. So now I have another little strip of ribbon here that I'm just tying around, and we're just going to do a little tie on. So I'll put this on here and just tie that on. Then I'll grab my ribbon scissors and I'll just go ahead and trim that. And then we're ready to go ahead and put this onto our card. So to do that, I'm just going to turn that around. I'm going to add a little multi-purpose liquid glue here. And this is a this is a somewhat large die, so I've got plenty of room to put the glue on. And then a little bit through the hat, a little bit through the mustache, and then just a couple of speckles here on some of those bigger swirls. And then we can go ahead and set this right onto our card. And we have our card complete. Just press that down and it's beautiful and so fun to make. So here is the completed card. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate you. If you'd like to place a product order, be sure to visit my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com, where I have links to my online store. Have a great day. Bye-bye.